What up, YouTubers? It's MuGenTheGenius here. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Destiny. First of all, before I even begin, I just want to say this game has been a great game, and as it's expected from Bungie, of course. So, as you all know, this game is made by Bungie, and everyone knows what Bungie's most famous for, Halo. But today, we're not talking about Halo. Today, we're talking about Destiny, a completely different game from Halo, as you can hear from my sarcasm. No, but the gameplay. Let's talk about the gameplay. First of all, whether you're playing single player or multiplayer or strikes or whatever you wish, the gameplay is smooth, it's crisp, and it's pretty much easy to pick up, especially if you've played Halo before or any first-person shooter. It's all pretty straightforward, and the mechanics aren't as difficult. With the whole incorporation of special abilities and stuff like that, especially makes multiplayer a little hard to compete in, because other people are using different other special abilities, which could definitely like ruin your day if you aren't paying attention in multiplayer. Like for example, even though the hunters have pretty much the one of the strongest weapons of the golden gun, and pretty much any shot anywhere is an instant kill, you can still easily be defended against with a Titan that has the orb shield, for example, ability. So it's like everything is balanced, but you just have to be I guess expectant. And so in my opinion, I think the gameplay is good fun. I've definitely put hours of gameplay into this game, and so I think this gameplay is more like a 9 out of 10. But let's right after gameplay, which I think is probably the most important feature in a game, is story. Because if you like a story, especially if you think of a game like The Last of Us, where the story is just so nice that it could even be made into a movie. When you look at something like Destiny for a next generation console, this is probably Destiny's only real downfall, is that they've literally put the story on the back burner. As you play the game, you collect grimoire cards, and you have to go onto Bungie's website and actually read the cards to read extra lore about what's going on in the story. And I know the average gamers, especially me, I definitely wouldn't go and read up on grimoire cards, because it's too much work. It's stuff that should have been put in the game. And so that's, I think, the real only downfall to Destiny. So story is definitely like a 6 out of 10. But let's talk about graphics. This is a next gen console, and this game definitely lives up to that. These graphics are amazing. I know I definitely talked about it probably in my first video or whatnot. The graphics are crisp, smooth, and it's just great. The only real complaint I guess I would have, and I guess this just comes from online connection or whatnot, but if you play strikes and as you're traveling through with your buddies, sometimes you might get stuck with a quick loading screen as your buddy is traveling away. But that's just a minor inconvenience. I don't think that's anything, and it doesn't happen a lot either. So, visuals are definitely like 8 out of 10 for me. The soundtrack to this game is amazeballs. Like, I can't think of any other games with good soundtracks I can mention right now, but like when you're playing boss battles or whatnot, it's definitely dynamic, it's classical, and on top of that, you've got the legend himself, Mr. Paul McCartney, making music for this game. So I definitely think the game's music is nice. I definitely wouldn't pick up a soundtrack CD or anything, but for playing with the game, it definitely lives up to how good of a game this game is. So music's definitely 9 out of 10. Now, the last thing I want to talk about for Destiny is long-term playability. Sure, Activision's definitely got Bungie making DLC for the game, which I don't know. I think DLC is definitely a bittersweet topic in the gaming world, because when you think about arcades, technically every time you played an arcade, it's DLC. You have to pay to play, and it's still the same concept now. But I feel like there's I guess it goes back to the story. There's definitely parts of the story that should have been in the game already in order for the game to kind of make more sense story-wise. But as for long-term playability, Destiny definitely works on the scheme of grinding. And I know that's, for people who've played RPGs before, this is nothing strange to them. Everyone knows that to get better stuff, better weapons, you got to put in more time, you got to put in more work. But that's not necessarily every other gamer. Some people want to just play a game and put it down, especially if that's the completionist in them. Like, I know some people who play Pokemon and like they have put the game down once they've either like beat the Elite Four or they caught them all, because there's no like real desire after that, especially if you're a completionist. So I mean, long-term playability, I think at the end it definitely depends on the player. Me personally, I like to get gear. I want to have like good stuff and good weapons in order to make gameplay a little easier for me. So I mean, I guess that's part completionist of me, but I think that's what keeps me playing this game even more. But as for long-term playability, I don't think this game can simply just rely on DLC alone. I think, sure, you can play this game now, but I don't think people will want to go back and play this game again like the way people love to go back and play Mario. Like, Mario will probably have or Super Mario Brothers will have like infinite playability because of just how nostalgic it is, which is definitely that game's advantage. But the fact that the gameplay is just simple and the story is worthwhile. I mean, the story isn't amazing, but it's worthwhile. So in my opinion, long-term playability for Destiny, that rating for me is like a 7 out of 10, because there's too many variables involved. But I don't know. I overall, I think Destiny is a great game to pick up, especially if you have the next generation console. It's definitely worth a pickup. For me, overall, 7.8 out of 10. It is a great game, and I'm sure there's more to come for this next generation. So I'm looking forward to it. Please subscribe to my videos. I've got plenty more coming. Next week, I'm going to be starting off with a new game. I'm not too sure what it is yet. I'm going to surprise you guys when my next drop comes. So please be classy, be peaceful, and be geniuses. Mugen out.
Oh, that guy went too. Look at us, all of us, putting good points on the board. No! Wah, wah, wah. I'll go up this way. Hopefully I don't do the noob fail again.
Crucible is not a challenge to be taken lightly.
No! I thought we were winning, but we lost. Oh well, we didn't buy much.